What is good, people? What is good, people? We are back. Third stream of the day. Don't ever tell me I'm not working hard for y'all, man. Third stream of the day. Obviously, the first two were Man United related, but we are bringing it back to Baltimore. Crazy weekend, crazy weekend. But Baltimore survived in Dallas. I got my guy Ryan from the Flock Rundown with me. I got my guy Ryan, my brother in crime. For the sake of the stream. Ryan, we're calling you Woods. We're calling you Woods for the stream.
Cool.
We're calling you Woods for the stream. Yep. Yeah. But no, I hope everyone's doing well, guys. Everyone make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, hop over to YouTube, you feel me? Click the link in my bio and in my description and make sure to check out the stream. But big win from a Ravens perspective. Yo, that was so necessary. I couldn't have even imagined going 0-3. I'm gonna be real. I can't remember the last time we went 0-3. Maybe Ryan, you got a better
2015, I want to say,
was it 2015? Yeah.
It
feels so long ago.
It was a long, 9 years.
Yeah, man. So glad that we got the win. We almost sold the bag again, which would have been catastrophic, but I'm glad we got the dub. I got the Cowboys perspective here with me. I got some Ravens perspective. We'll start with Ryan though, man. I saw your reaction, bro. But like, just what did you feel about the game, man? What were your biggest takeaways, and how are you feeling heading into next week?
Yeah, feel real good that we got a win. Obviously, I mean 0-3 is nightmare / season over probably. I mean, one out of the last 129 teams made the playoffs starting 0-3. I think I saw that stat throughout the week. So big feeling good that we got a win, first win of the season, but and good that we attacked what I thought was the obvious weakness of the Cowboys and we just stuck with that game plan. I think that kudos to Monken and the offensive line for stepping up a little bit, and Lamar and Henry obviously doing their thing. So I feel like the game plan was strong. 45 runs, 15 passes. We definitely committed. But after like sitting with the ending and watching a little bit of film today, I'm not like feeling phenomenal about the rest of the season. There's still a lot of holes to plug. I don't think the offensive line is completely figured out by any means. I'm still concerned if we go against a better defensive front. No knock on like Micah Parsons or anything, but they're not able to stop the run right now. This is not like a good comparison for a struggling offensive line to have a better day and then say that our offensive line's all of a sudden fixed. I don't think that. But I'm feeling better than I was, but not super confident moving forward, especially like you mentioned with the fourth quarter collapse, which was mainly on the Ravens secondary or just defense in general. Their pass rush got tired. They weren't getting home. Secondary, ton of miscommunication, and then some special teams blunders, right? It started with Tucker's missed field goal, 46-yarder, bro. Like, I mean,
what's going on with Tuck, man? It's just
they're all the same. It's all the same miss, which has me feeling better about it. It's not like a distance issue. It's like 3 to 5 feet left. Like it's a close left miss. So I'm just gonna try. He ain't never been in a slump like this. I gotta trust that Justin Tucker, caliber kicker that he is just gonna work his way through it, especially like a 46-yarder. I mean, come on. But anyway, it started there, and then Cowboys zip down the field, and then the onside kick. Zay fumbles the onside kick. Cowboys get the ball right back against a tired defense. That's what I meant. That's what I was saying about like the pass rush not able to get home, secondary collapsing. Cowboys zip down the field again. Then the offense goes 3 and out. Then the Cowboys score again. You know what I mean? Like that fourth quarter was concerning, and it's back-to-back weeks. This happened against the Raiders, literally identical. I mean, a smaller lead. It was a 10-point lead versus a 19-point lead or whatever, or 28-6. So those are still concerns that are just not gone away. Like I'm not moving into Buffalo being like, oh, all the things we were worried about are all of a sudden corrected. I don't think that's the case, but all that aside, I'm feeling good. We got the dub.
No, absolutely, man. I agree with a lot of what you said. I'll let Ryan give the Cowboys perspective because I know we talked in the group chat a bit. We were talking a little shit during the game, obviously. And it's just I feel like you've been kind of hinting at this. Like I was very skeptical about this game. I was really worried about this game, and you kind of were like, bro, I'm not feeling good about this. So like maybe give us your thoughts leading into the game that kind of confirmed your worries and concerns.
Yeah, no, definitely was not confident going into the game. What I thought would happen was that Dak would have to will us into a close game, and maybe you guys do what the Ravens do and kind of give the game away, which is exactly what almost happened. But we just we to Ryan's point, right? This is not a win I would feel particularly good about if I was a Ravens fan.
Mm.
You went into Dallas and you won in Jerry's World, which used to be harder than what it's been these last three home games. But you're playing a team that just doesn't have a lot of heart, man. And that's exactly what
That's
like
a,
we
that's
don't
a,
have a lot of heart. We don't really
that's a
have a lot
big
of
statement. It's a big
it's just
statement.
the truth, man. We don't have a lot of heart, and we don't really have an identity as a team, right? We have a lot of big names with not a lot of substance behind it, and and in a way, we are front runners, right? If we can get the first swing on you, and go up 7 or 10-0, it's going to be hard to beat us because that's just the way our defense is set up to rush the passer. It is not set up for a fist fight, right? Our offense is not either, honestly.
Mm.
Um, our D tackles are abysmal. They are truly abysmal. Which, to the point of your O line, I think Ryan was kind of saying it's not a good meter here, right? I would still be a little bit worried if I was y'all going into. I don't know if it's in Buffalo. I think it might be home for you guys, but
It's home, yeah.
um, yeah, man, I could talk for hours about why the Cowboys have pissed me off these last few months, but particularly, particularly in the league now that has a lot of motion and runs a lot of stretch. If you don't get any interior push, now it doesn't matter if you have it doesn't matter if you have D-Law or Michael on the edge. Their job is to turn everything back inwards. So if you don't have any interior push down the line of scrimmage coming from your three techniques or your D tackles, you're basically just turning the running backs just turning up with a lead fullback taking on our already undersized
Mm.
linebackers. Like it was just obvious that
Yeah.
this was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Zimmer. I'm looking at the entire coaching staff saying, what did you do all week? Right? Like you knew this is what they were gonna do. I was just listening to I think it was Teddy Bruschi on Get Up a few minutes ago saying, I would rather you pass for 500, or it was Rex Ryan said, I'd rather you pass for 500 yards than run the ball 200 yards. And that's exactly how I feel, right? We don't make the offense ever uncomfortable. I knew you guys had a lot of weapons. You have Derrick Henry, you have Lamar, you have weapons on the outside, but it just never seemed that hard for you guys, other than
No.
when in the fourth quarter where like the play calling is like giving us favors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with you, just doing
Mm-hmm.
doing us a lot of favors as Cowboys fans. Some of the play calling,
Mm-hmm.
like Derrick Henry slipping, Lamar overthrows. I think like
Mm-hmm.
a third down, we get the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this, right? Like a few months ago, when everyone was pressing on us to sign a Dak or a CD, I was to the point where I'm like, pay him for what? Like pay him to lock in the talent. I understand, but now what, right? CD is more than a diva, right? He is a emotional roller coaster that takes him and the entire team out of the game when things aren't going his way. He fumbled the ball and it felt like he was upset at everybody else. And come to find out, we lose by 3. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that was a tough one.
yeah, we'll continue to like push through some different talking points as the stream goes on, but just highly unmotivated, highly disappointed. It feels like the only person I am happy Dak is signed because I believe we can win with Dak, but he has his limitations that all start with, can we establish a run game? And we
No, yeah,
can't stop the run. We can't
those
run.
running backs aren't it. Those running backs aren't it, man. I'm sorry. Like Rico Dowdle and Zeke, man, it's just there's no there's no explosiveness there. There's no explosiveness. What I was really taken aback was I thought Micah was gonna have a field day. Like literally heading into the game, I was just thinking about how Chris Jones performed against us week 1, and then how Max Crosby performed against us week 2, and
We
what
didn't
they really.
pass.
Yeah, no, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's like, and I thought to myself, like, yo, if they just move Micah around, Micah finds where he's comfortable on the D, like, because literally Chris Jones was just he would just move his guys over. Okay, I'm gonna focus in on McCary this play. I'm gonna focus in on Falele this play, right? Just move, because we have, honestly, we have average O linemen. Like Falele and McCary are
right side below
right,
average.
just below average.
Yeah.
Voorhees is not good. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan.
He's
You know what I
young.
mean?
It's hard to judge like the future of all these young guys because like they're gonna get better week after week. I think Voorhees shows more potential than Falele, who's just like dirt slow. But I mean, you're right. I mean, it's a average to below average offensive line. The reason that Parsons couldn't tee off is because we weren't passing. We had 15 throws the whole game, and six traditional pass sets. So I mean, Micah didn't have an opportunity, like Ryan or Woods was saying earlier. Like if Dallas was playing with a lead and we were passing a lot to come back, you would have saw Micah eat our lineup.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Let's talk about the fourth quarter real quick, because that was really concerning to me. Like, we made it look so easy in the first few drives, the first few possessions. Honestly, 3 quarters in, I was like half near dozing off, like, we got this, you know what I mean? But I just keeping yourself away because it's the game. But like, then all of a sudden I'm like, hold up. You kind of like just sit up a little bit. You're like, what's going on here? Like, why is it that we do this to ourselves constantly? Like, we are just notorious. At this point, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's who we are, but we have done this time and time again for years, where we're giving up big leads and dropping and, you know, giving up points, giving up losses, man. But why do you think this keeps happening?
Yeah, the overall theme of it is a good question. I don't, because every game it's like different little stuff, you know what I mean? So like in this specific Cowboys game, like I was saying earlier, just to like summarize quickly, it was, you know, defense let up a touchdown, and then it all started with a Tucker missed field goal. So we missed 3 there. Cowboys in good field position. They go down and score, which they hadn't really drove most of the game. So like, I wasn't even really stressing it. I was like, all right, there's like 9 minutes left in the fourth. They got to score, all good. Then we fumble the onside. Like, when's that happen? You know what I mean? We're fumbling an onside kick. These are things that like isn't a common theme. So it's like hard to pinpoint why it happens last week, this week, last year, multiple times. I mean, the Dolphins game a while back, early last season comes to mind. Like, there's so many blown leads. I at this point, I think it's like a mentality that they got to get over. Like, for some reason, they're not keeping the gas down in the fourth quarter on both sides of the ball. Like, in this game in particular, I don't even think, I mean, the offense went 3 and out in a crucial moment towards the end of the game. But like, for the most part, this was on our defense and special teams errors at the end of the game. But
100%.
There's many games where it is our offense going 3 and out, conservative play calling. I think our defense got too conservative with their defensive play calling in this Cowboys game.
Really
we were playing aggressive coverage, pressing, like getting physical with them. Our rush was putting pressure on him consistently. And then in the fourth quarter, our rush gets tired because there's multiple back-to-back drives, and our defense is playing off. And then you could just see, as Dallas was going to hurry up, like I was watching a little bit of the All-22 today, and you could see the miscommunication. I mean, like the Cowboys would run crossing routes, and Marlon and Marcus Williams both take the same guy. And dude's running a wide open corner way over Roquan's head. Marcus should probably take that guy and be there in the middle of the field, but he didn't. It's just like so many little miscommunication errors. I don't know if that's Zach Orr being a new defensive coordinator, but it goes, like you said, it goes back to last year. It's such a common theme. That's why I'm gonna just go broad view and say it's in their heads now. And Harbaugh is not always the cleanest coach when it comes to making crucial decisions at the end of the games. I think that those, last week we had no timeouts because he's doing stupid challenges, and like there's just so many variables in each game. But overall, the common theme, to sum it up, it's just we gotta lock in the fourth and make it like a mission for the team to actually go execute and try even harder than when they start the game. There's no letting off, 28-6 or not. Like, we got to play 4 quarters.
Yeah. And this has always been my, we're gonna get to the positive stuff here in a second. Trust me. And this has been my biggest concern, like for our team, is that like we're not clean in important moments. You know what I mean? Like we don't know how to keep it clean, and that's something that really worried me. But honestly, this game was probably won in the summer. I'm gonna tell you why. Derrick motherfucking Henry.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that it was very well known that he was interested in Dallas. Like I think he lives in Dallas, or he's from
Yep.
one of the two. He either lives in
He
Dallas or he's from
lives
Dallas.
there and like works out there. He wanted to
Right.
sign.
Like he wanted to sign there, and I guess it wasn't deemed a priority. Like
we just
Ryan,
couldn't afford it. We couldn't with CD. And so, well, what happened is this, right? We knew Dak's contract was on the summer. We knew CD's was on the summer, or CD would probably come knocking as well. You don't know what you're gonna have to pay either of those in the moment when Derrick Henry was really hit the market. Micah is now making noise about a contract this summer as well. So those are 3 stars, all looking to be basically the top 3 highest paid players in league history, right?
Yeah.
And not to say that the Cowboys don't have it per se, but the running back position was not prioritized, right? And I mean, it makes sense from okay, if we're going to pay the quarterback and the wide receiver, we should be able to put things on your shoulder and not have a dominant run game. I'm not saying I agree with their approach, but I'm saying I understand the thinking. And it's just, I mean, the Derrick Henry thing is one thing. I truly would want to see how he's going to do the rest of the season, especially in the AFC North. You guys have the Bengals, the Steelers, and who am I missing?
Browns.
Bengals, Steelers, and Browns, right? I look at his numbers at the end of the year, and we'll see how you guys feel about him. I think he had his way with us, but who doesn't, right? Like who doesn't on the run game nowadays, right? If you're a pretty decent back, you're gonna have a good day against us, and then you add in Lamar as well, attacking the edge, so that's difficult. But no, I mean we need a running back. There's a lot of things that it was clear that we needed. Running back, D-line. More speed on the outside with wide receivers, some depth at corner. We didn't bring back Gilmore. Everything that we knew was going to be an issue just showed up, and that's all that's been happening when we play against people with talent. We're just so used to beating up on the NFC East and having a weaker schedule every year, splitting with the Eagles. I mean, you're already 10-7 at that point. At least. Let alone you get a good win here or there in a close game, then you're 12-5. It's just very easy to be inflated on what exactly you have in your camp. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not going into Sunday against the Giants thinking we're just about to run over them. I'm really not, because they're gonna have to show me again. So
Thursday night game, right?
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night game. That's a big short week. But I heard a stat that like 40% of like Dak's wins or something like that are from like the Giants and the Commanders.
I mean, maybe so. I mean, but like what? That's like saying like so many of Lamar's wins is against his division opponents.
Nah. Lamar has a ridiculous NFC.
Against the NFC, yeah.
21-1.
Like,
and weirdly enough, the loss is to the Giants.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. But no, crazy. I mean, my issue is not with Dak. It really isn't. Like I've seen
Dak was fine. I didn't think Dak was an issue yesterday. Like I thought it was more so you guys just couldn't stop us. Like especially in the first, I thought the first quarter was damn near flawless. Like I don't know what you thought, Ryan, but like I really thought like
from what we've been seeing,
the read op, like first play. Read option, Lamar on the outside, like,
and then the boot when everyone's back to box, like everyone knows like we're running, and then we just bootleg and Kohler's wide open for like 40 yards. Yeah,
it looks. I was so happy. I'm like, we need to be doing this every single play. And I'm not saying like I want Lamar to like be in harm's way or whatnot, but like you need to put that fear in teams like of if we're not careful, this kid's gonna break out on the edge. Then you have Derrick Henry as like your second like. Damn near a secondary option in a weird way. Like it's scary. It's scary hours for teams. Like Ryan, what did like from an offensive perspective, like is this the blueprint going forward? Obviously discounting the fourth quarter, right? But like, is this the blueprint going forward? Like more aggression in the read option game, leveraging Derrick Henry. I mean, 45 rush, 15 split. I don't know if that's sustainable, but being more focused on the run. I think we've been too soft when it comes to that the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm calling the plays, I'm definitely leaning run heavy. Like you said, not 45-15. That's just how that game was supposed to go, and it went in our favor where we didn't have to pass. But not every game is going to be, we're not going to be up 28-6 or 21-6 for most of the game. So you're going to have to throw a lot more. 15 times is not, if we're only throwing 15 times, we're probably dominating the game. Like that's just the reality of it. So I think, I don't know, maybe 35 runs, 25 passes, like Lamar in that like 20 to 30 pass range is probably ideal. And but definitely like the run needs to be the center focus of the offense. That is the identity. Run through Henry and Lamar, especially that combo. Like you said, I mean, Lamar had 14 carries himself. Like he's not afraid to keep the ball. You know what I mean? And there's actually plays designed that big third down conversion. Henry wasn't even in the game. It was Zay coming on like a wide reverse that Lamar faked. So, I mean, there's so many different ways to get Lamar running, or like design plays where the whole line kicks out and Lamar's just out there running by himself. Like, but I think running obviously has to be our identity, and then everything else is going to open up. Guys like Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely are consistent mismatches. I know this week everyone's like hating on Andrews and saying that he's fell off and he's going to be traded and things like that. And like, maybe he will get traded or let go of free agency at some point. I don't know, but like, he hasn't fell off. Isaiah had 1 catch for 4 yards. Mark Andrews had no catches, 1 target, I think, on that third down that Lamar made. Yeah, it's just like we only threw 12. We had 12 completions. Not everyone's going to be involved. So, but I think moving forward, that 12 personnel with Isaiah and Mark out there disguising that run look, you're going to be able to basically decide based off what the defense is giving you how you can attack. And I think that we have great tight ends to cause a lot of mismatches if the defense goes with a heavier personnel to stop the run. And then obviously speed with Zay outside. You can move him all around in the slot outside. Bateman is more of like a timing route running guy, middle of the field. I think he can attack. He's not going to like burn you deep that often, but we can get him involved too. And I mean, he did get involved in the Cowboys game.
Yeah, no, this is one of his better games. Yeah.
Still only had like 28 yards, but
yeah.
But no,
I mean, go ahead.
No. To summarize the point, like running needs to be the identity. We need to start with a strong run game. If our run game is getting shut down, we're in a world of trouble because our line is not capable. And it's not just pass protecting. Our line struggled to run block too until this game. So I'm still worried moving forward. Like, I'm curious to see how this line run blocks against Buffalo, which is a way better front. So like,
Oliver and those boys.
Yeah, exactly. So I if we run block really well against them and I keep seeing progression from the line, then I'll feel a lot more confident about it. But right now, I would lean towards run calling for sure, but I'm still not super confident that we're going to be able to just run all over whoever we want.
And if I'm the Bills too, like any defense against you guys, I'm putting 7-8 people in the box. I'm saying you're gonna have to beat us passing the ball, and you're gonna have to beat us getting Zay on the edge and doing whatever. But Lamar and Derek aren't gonna beat us just running the ball. He's gonna have to drop back and pass.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's a guaranteed win. If Lamar and Henry are going off, we're going to win the game most likely.
No, absolutely. And I agree with that. I think the thing is like Lamar has shown he can be an efficient passer. We just this line is just this line is a bit of a worry. And I'm just thinking to like we know what the identity is, what we have to be as an offensive team. Like defensively, I'm still trying to figure that out, honestly. Like it's kind of I think our front four is very very dangerous, right?
We just signed Yannick Ngakoue like 2 hours ago.
And
I saw that like a home run piece, but it's a nice depth option.
People would have said the same. People would have said this. People would have said the same thing about Kyle Van Noy last year when we signed him. You know what I mean?
And Clowney, bro. People were saying Clowney was washed up.
Clowney went crazy.
Kobe year, man. Like,
so crazy. So I'm all about that, and like I think that's probably what's going to be our identity. I don't know. Our secondary is just not.
They're inconsistent right now at the end of game. But if you really watch it, like the talent's there, and throughout most of the game, they're doing their job. So
Wiggins is going to be good too.
Yeah. I
thought Wiggins. He's gonna get his licks. He'll give up some stuff this year as a rookie, but he will be your defense is very athletic, and I think that causes a lot of matchup problems. We couldn't get tight ends open like we normally can, which is a big part of our offense while we stalled. We couldn't get open on the edge, couldn't scheme open because of your defensive pressure. I mean, all your defense needs to do is give your ball, is just bend but don't break. Just keep the ball in your offensive hands, control the game, and you guys are going to be a hard team to beat, honestly. If you guys can just be smart, I guess.
Yeah, if the defense can play tighter and more consistent in the fourth quarter, I don't even think we're having a lot of these conversations about the secondary.
You're right.
It's these like last 10 minutes of the game where we go a little softer in coverage.
Yep.
I think Harbaugh said this in his presser too today. He's like, we're just playing too conservative at the end of the games. And he wasn't speaking about the offense in that segment. He was talking about Zach Orr's calling. He said we were just a little too conservative, basically saying like, we'll let up everything underneath. But then that started to open everything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like Dak got in a rhythm. He was finding other guys outside of CD that everyone got in a rhythm. Ferguson was eating us up. He made some really nice catches. If I was an opposing team, I'd probably attack Roquan Smith right now. I think he's pretty weak in coverage, which is weird that I would say that because like he's one of our best players, but he's a little slower right now. And he's not
that is his
his
weakness. That is his weakness, 100%. And you know what? That's a good perspective because sometimes when you're like as a fan, I kind of just you kind of get outside and you really forget. Like the first half against the Raiders, they didn't do shit. You know what I mean? Like the
Cowboys didn't either. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Cowboys didn't either. And then even the Chiefs, like we had a lot of good moments, like a lot of good moments in coverage and things like that, and made it uncomfortable for them when we were making that little bit of a comeback. So that's actually a great point, Ryan. And like we need to find ways to just hold up, right? And Zach is young. Zach Orr is pretty young, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt as he's like figuring it out on the job. You know what I mean?
Another point, right to that point, is Mike McDonald. So it had been 2 years ago, not last season, but his first chunk of games, I think it was for a month, we were ranked 30th in pass defense with Mike McDonald, and then it turned around as the season went because the communication got better. Everyone just started to gel for the whole game. So this start from Zach Orr is eerily similar to how Mike McDonald started. And then you saw everyone was praising Mike McDonald like after a month, that he's like the greatest defensive coordinator, should be our head coach, ends up getting a head coaching job after he balled out last year. Yeah. And he is deserving that, no doubt. But I'm just saying, like, he also had a rough start. And I don't think that Zach Orr, if it was the whole game, I'd have a way different feeling about it. But we played great for 80% of the game. So it's just like lock in that fourth quarter. Maybe stop playing so conservative. If we have a lead, don't be so soft. Maybe just keep pressing. You know what I mean? Keep dialing blitzes up and playing like you were for the first 3 quarters. And I think we'll see a lot better results throughout the game.
100%. I don't know if we have the speed, like you mentioned, Roquan. I don't know if we have the speed. Like
Trenton Simpson's our best cover linebacker. Yeah.
Right. Like east to west, like or even just like the touchdown pass that they threw over Roquan Smith's head. That was just like, that's just an example of like he got beat in coverage quite a.
I don't think that was his zone though. That was miscommunication.
Yeah, it was a good route. It was a route designed to get him to come up, and we dumped it over him.
And then Marcus chose the wrong dude.
Yeah. No, I hear it. But Woods, like from a Cowboys perspective, like
bring in Belichick. No, I'm joking. Go
I was about to say like I just don't. I'm not seeing. Because I've given a lot of praise for the personnel decisions you guys have made in the draft and all that good stuff over the past few years. I thought the drafts have been good, but like, where are the studs right now? Like, where are the young players? Like, I mean, like in terms of this draft, like where are the young guys like coming through? Because I'm kind of seeing the same cast of characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're starting a rookie corner right now. The one that missed the tackle on Aguilar. He will actually be really good. I mean, mind you, Bland was just drafted 2 years ago. That's another All-Pro corner that's out. Overshown is an undersized linebacker, but he's pretty good. But a lot of the issues that we're stemming with are starting at the line. Overshown's good. The corner is good. We kind of wasted. We're starting 2 rookie O linemen. So we're starting a left tackle that's replacing Tyron Smith, who will end up being pretty good. He was getting his lunch ate a little bit against you guys. And then we're starting are starting a rookie center too. So the pieces are in the are definitely there showing up. I mean, we're probably here's the thing, right? We with Dak locked in, CD locked in, and probably Micah locked in this upcoming summer. We have a lot of young talent to then go and maybe try to put some pieces in place at running back, an additional wide receiver, some what we probably thought were nice to haves this past summer because we're running back a lot of the same team. It's
Right.
just now we put on film how to beat us. And now that's all it takes, right? We put on film how to beat us. We can't stop a Shanahan offense. We can't stop the run on the edge. And it's taken some time, right? We have a new DC, and I know that's not what you asked me. You asked me where the young pups are, but they're on the game. They're in the game. They're in the game. We're
Okay.
starting like 5 or 6 what could be considered rookies this year, whether it's playing time or just true rookies. So I mean, the future will always be bright because we have the money to scout, we have the money to develop. We have Al Harris is probably one of the best corner DB coaches in the game, but we're just very disjointed right now from a cultural uh, from an identity standpoint. And we're just a very unserious team, man. We're just a very unserious team. We don't show up in big games. We psych
Yeah.
ourselves out, and we just don't come prepared, bro. And it's a byproduct of of Jerry and the lights, man. We get too much praise when we don't need it. We don't just focus on we don't make the main thing the main thing, and that will forever be Dallas's problem. And we need to get a run game too, man. It's the expectations are pretty low right now for me. And if it was up to me, if they come out there and play like they did the first 85% of the game, 85% of last game, I want to see them lose because that's what it's gonna take, man. The stuff on the sideline, like it's not beneficial during the game, but that's the type of shit that you need to actually grow and get better on the team. People need to be held accountable, right? Like, and that's the problem is that no one is above accountability. Dak, like Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, the people who are Micah, the people who are out there supposed to be making plays need to be held accountable too. And I think it's funny because this will be my last point. I think it's funny because last year and coming into this year, it was like everyone likes to basically like shit on Dak and make him seem like he's just like an average player. But in the reality of the game, he is a very good quarterback. And I think a lot of times that the players like they kind of want to blame Dak too and be like, oh, Dak's just doing what Dak does again. When in reality, it's like Tom's in the booth saying, you guys have Dak Prescott. Like, why do you think this game is over? And I don't know if the team respects him the way that real people in the game respect him, if that makes sense. And this is outside.
Yeah. No. Aaron Rodgers gave him some love on Pat McAfee's show last week. Said he's really enjoying watching Dak. And honestly, Dak as a neutral, like, because I'm an AFC guy. I don't really think too much about the NFC, but like Dak, when is pre-snap cadence, all of that is really fascinating to watch. You can tell he's really
he's a vet in the game, man.
Like he's really gotten to a point where he's kind of controlling games with his pre-snap cadence and reading defenses. Like he was calling out of multiple, pass protection coverages and things like that, like making a difference. So I got listen. I like to give Dak shit because you're my boy and I got
I get
but
it.
like, you know what I mean? But I actually, even yesterday, I was like, man, this guy's like come a long way. Like rookie season Dak to like the person he is now is night and day.
It's one of those things, man, where too it's like you never see the Chiefs give up because they know they have Patrick Mahomes. You never see the Patriots give up because they knew they had Tom Brady. It's a respect thing. The thing, whether or not you're still in the game or not. The Ravens, just give Lamar a chance. Just give your quarterback a chance. And I didn't see that this weekend until he willed it out of them. And we got a few things turned the corner. And that's just it's disheartening to see. If Dak would have walked, I would have rooted for him, whatever team he would have went to. Because sometimes you need to change the scenery, man. You need people who are going to respect you from the top down. And it's just, it's a lot. There's a lot of issues there. There's a lot of issues that are all stemming from the big star.
Yeah. Looking forward into next week, Ryan, and facing the Bills, like you mentioned, they're going to have a much more explosive front. Do you think we're at a point where we can pass our way to a victory? Like, or is this something we're going to have to, or are we going to see some offensive line struggles and we're going to be forced to do? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, can we be successful? Like kind of the formula last year where we did a lot of good things in the passing game, I thought. And I don't know if we're there yet to replicate what we did last season, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely don't think we're there. And last year, I don't remember exactly what the record was, but around week 4 or 5, I think we had just lost to like the Colts and the Steelers.
Mhm.
And everyone was kind of in the same mood, man. The
Yeah.
dumpster fire was here. We were like 500. Everybody's like, this offense sucks. We're not scoring even like 20 points. So in regards to the passing offense, I think that is going to gel. The line is a huge deal, and that's a big difference from last year. Is like we didn't have this inconsistent of line play, and I am holding my breath because we did see an improvement this week. So like I would love nothing more, man. I'm not on here like bashing the O-line. I'd love nothing more than that O-line, whoever it is, to just go out there and ball out, and let's keep building each week. But even watching that Cowboys game, I just see a lot of the similar mistakes that just happen to go our way. Derrick Henry made some incredible cutbacks, and like there's just a lot of things where I'm like, man, this O-line it's not going to go away. This is not something that goes away, and that affects the pass game big time. I mean, we've seen that even with just timing. Even when the line does hold up, Lamar's been under pressure the previous 2 drives. And now he's not trusting his time. He can't go through every progression. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like he's not trusting it. He'll look off. I think it was Andrews last week coming on like a crosser route. He looked at him right away. He was covered by the linebacker. By the time Lamar got back to Andrews, who was running wide open for like a 40-yard gain, he sacked. So like he doesn't trust it. So I'm gonna need the line to really hold up. I think Roger Rosengarten is way better in pass protection. I'm guessing they didn't play him at right tackle in the Cowboys game because we were running the ball so well. But I'm pretty sold that Rodgers the best fit for us in pass protection. So at some point, we're going to see that rotation continue. At some point, he's going to be the starting right tackle. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. You don't draft a guy in the second round and then rotating him in week after week for him not to be the starter. So, and he gets back into his stance way faster than like any lineman we have. So like, I think he's got the tools to be good. And I think if we can get a nice unit out there that we really can keep and build week after week, you're going to see this pass game start to gel even more. Right now, against the Buffalo Bills specifically, where we are in the season, I don't really trust that like we can be down a bunch and come back and just rely on our pass game. And it's not Lamar either. Lamar can get it done. We've seen it many times. And I think we got the weapons too. It's just the line and the chemistry, the consistency, the timing, everything's just a little bit off, and pressure causes that too, though. You know what I mean? You can't, you're practicing without that same type of pressure. And then all of a sudden Falele is getting beat in 2 seconds. And that whole play that you've been practicing is now blown up. So like, these are things that I think will still be a problem, at least for a couple more weeks. That doesn't mean we're going to like lose to the Bills or anything. I just think that if we are down a couple scores and we have to pass and everyone knows we're passing, I'm still worried about this O-line.
No, completely understand, man. And I think it's fair to say both of our teams still got a lot of work. To do.
Whole NFL, man, it's been sloppy this year.
It's been sloppy, man. It's gonna be a long season. I think that both of our teams are still primed to get to the playoffs, even though we're 1-2. Like there's some teams that started off hot that I think are going to cool off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll be good.
I think both the teams will be good. It's just really dependent on we do need to get in a little bit of a rhythm, right? Get some wins under our belt. I'm just looking at the schedule. Got the
Bengals after
that. Yeah. Then Commanders, Bucks. So like there's a window here, man. If we just get some, like, can beat the Bills, the Bengals.
Bills are the big one. Yeah, the Bills are the big one because I didn't getting 2 straight too, just from mentality
Mental,
standpoint. Like,
yes.
yeah, you come into the Bengals week with confidence. Now you're back to 500. You know what I mean? You were
Yep.
staring 0-3 in the face, and then you beat the Bills. You're back to 500, and you haven't even played anyone in the division. We could run.
Yeah.
We usually don't. The division AFC North beats each other up, but like we can if we ran through the division, we easily win the division. I don't think the Steelers are going to have some crazy record. I know they're 3-0 right now, but like they're not going to end up having a 13 win record or any. Yeah. So like I just don't. I think the division's going to be tight, and the Ravens could easily run through that division and end up getting in that way. I don't think the Ravens are going to miss the playoffs, barring any like crazy injuries, obviously, with any team. If Lamar goes down, things change. But like, I think the Ravens will be fine. It's just a lot of growing pains. But it does take me back to last year. I haven't even brought that up. It just came to my mind when we were just talking about it. We were, bro, the fan base was feeling this same way. Minus the line a little bit, but with the offense not scoring, the pass game not going, Todd Monken just got brought in. And by week 5, we had just lost to the Steelers and Colts, and everyone was saying we suck. And the Raiders, by the way, we lost week 1.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember. Yeah,
bro, I think we were 2-3 last year, and it was a dumpster fire. And then we go on to have the best record in the NFL.
And it's real. That's exactly what happened. That's funny.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. But Woods, I'll let you get some final thoughts on the boys real quick and like what you think is
I think as a Cowboys fan, what I would say to other Cowboys fans is I would be prepared to maybe be on the fringe of not making the playoffs in all seriousness. And I say that because we have the NFC North. I think we have the North. No, I know we have the South. And I think we have the NFC. We have a tough schedule again. Long story short, we have a tough schedule again, and until these problems are kind of figured out, it's just setting us up for success. We have a lame duck coach who's not under contract. We're starting off shaky. New DC. It's a lot of issues in there, man. And we got to grow. We got to have a short turnaround. Hopefully, we can put something out of our head. We can come out and perform well against the Giants, division foe, and then see if we can try to string some wins together. But defense is going to have to stand up. People are going to have to play with heart. I need the coaches to also acknowledge these are weak points. So what are we doing intentionally to strengthen these weak points? What are we doing? Because I thought against the Browns, we played great. I loved McCarthy's play calling, all that stuff. But one thing I did want to ask you guys, it's 3 weeks in. Whose stock are you buying? Whose stock are you selling in terms of teams right now? I think I would continue to buy some Viking stock. Brian Flores has that defense looking crazy.
Yeah.
What they just did to the Texans and what they did to the 49ers.
Yep. You see Purdy after the game go up to him and was like, that scheme's crazy.
He's going crazy. And then Sam Darnold, man, which I didn't realize he's younger than Joe Burrow. So now he has.
That is crazy. That's crazy. It feels like he was in the league like 3 years before Burrow.
And that just speaks, man. It speaks to you got to let the quarterbacks develop. It's system. It's all this. Justin Fields and Caleb Williams starting off the exact same, right? So is it the system or is it the player? Bryce Young could be the player, Andy Dalton has the Panthers winning. But yeah, I think I'm buying some Viking stock. I think I would continue. I think I'm selling Colt stock. I don't like Anthony Richardson. And I thought they would have a better year because he was back and healthy and things like that, but they can't stop the run either. And they're off, like he's so hot and cold. And I thought that they would have a chance to win the AFC South and compete against with the Texans. So we'll see. I mean, those are my 2 teams, I guess.
I'm gonna go with buying the Packers. I think the way they've held up with Love out is crazy. And we know, I mean, Jordan Love's he's nice, man, and he's going to continue to get better too. And they got a lot of talent at wide receiver and at running back. I like their defense. I think the Packers. I was worried that they were going to kind of fall into a hole. I didn't know how long Love would be out either, but what they just did last week this week with
Crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, and now Love's about to come back. I don't know if it's this week, but at least within the next like
man,
2
rest
weeks.
him one more week, man. Rest him
They
one
might,
more
but
week.
I'm just saying he's coming back soon, and
Right.
that team is ready to take off. And I don't know how closely you watched, Temi, but in joint practices when we went to Green Bay, they were kind of whooping up on the Ravens a little bit too, especially our offensive line, which should have been an obvious sign back then. But I think I'm buying the Packers for sure. Stock that I'm selling, that's a good. I don't want to go like too bad of a team.
Yeah, I didn't think about it before I asked.
I'm gonna go with the Jaguars. They've been extremely disappointing, and I think not that I thought they were some Super Bowl contender, but I thought that they would have a lot more firepower on offense. I just don't understand how Trevor Lawrence is not getting that show going. ETN's not even really like super involved. I think they're playing right now. Watch they go off. But like, I'm just saying, I feel like I had more expectations for them, but it is only week 3. I don't think, you know what I mean? We're going to know what any of these teams are in week 17, but like,
those
are my 2 just to toss it out on the spot.
No, those are good ones. I sold my Jaguar stock before the season started. I've been so out on the Jaguars for so long. It's like I don't see it with Trevor. Like I know he's a good quarterback. He has all the ability in the world, but like he doesn't have a good old line. And it seems like there's certain quarterbacks where like they can just will a team to victory, and he just doesn't have that. He doesn't. I don't want to sound like Sports Center, but he just doesn't have that X factor to like get you over the top. He doesn't have that personality to get you over the top. Like, but anyway, I'm buying the Rams stock. I'm buying the. I'm buying
those injuries too. Yeah, they're hanging in there.
Listen, I'm buying the Rams stock. Like I think Sean McVay is the best coach. Like I've always said, like I think he's the best coach in football personally for me. Like I think he's a top level coach, and the way he can scheme his way to victories is just like unlike anything. Like like I don't want to like no disrespect to the Cowboys, like their comeback, like a lot of things had to go right. Whereas like the Rams, like they were in the game like the whole time with the 49ers and then took it over the top. You know what I mean? So
they should have beat the Lions. Honestly, they should have beat the Lions in week 1 Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm selling Saints stock, man. Yesterday was telling. I'm selling Saints stock. Like, man. They needed that win, man. That would have been like a statement moment. Like you had the lead in the fourth quarter. I think they had like a 4 or 5 point lead with like less than 6 minutes left. They couldn't hold on. When they got the ball back from the Eagles, couldn't do anything with it. Like, granted, I had some money on this. This is why I'm probably feeling this way. But like I'm just like, yo, like I got hyped up. Obviously Dallas has some issues with stopping the run, and they took advantage of that.
Biggest difference between Philly and Dallas D-line.
Yeah, and exactly. And then the Panthers, D-line, like Bryce Young is just, I'm telling you, he's just not an NFL quarterback as it currently stands. So like they got away with. I think they blinded me a little bit. I got a little too hype on them, and I'm selling those stock, man. I'm selling those stock. But yeah, no, appreciate that was a good way to end this. Shout out to everyone who was in the chat. Shout out Suit Z. Shout out Rajat. Shout out Halimi. All great people. All the guys from the soccer chats who are showing love. We're gonna start growing this football angle here, NFL angle here on the channel, man. Shout out Ryan from the Flock Rundown, man. Some of the best Ravens content out there. No exaggeration, man. So all the Ravens fans, his channel link is in the title of the show. So make sure to click on that. Even if you're not a Ravens fan, just go there, click subscribe. It takes like 5 seconds. You feel me? And then shout out Woods as always, man. My one of my partners in crime. You know what I mean?
Man. Happy to
appreciate you as always. It was a good week of making Cowboys Ravens content with you, man. So we'll hopefully make some more content as the season goes on about just general NFL stuff. But tomorrow the Big Bank podcast is back. Episode 4, I think we're on episode 4 of the Big Bank podcast. I still had a tough week in the books, man, but we're still trying to chase down Andy to get first place. So anyone who loves gambling a little bit, make sure to check out the Big Bank podcast tomorrow for all your NFL bets. But we're going to sign off today. Guys, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, stay locked in, and we'll talk real soon. All right. Take it easy,
Appreciate it, man.
people.
See you, man. Appreciate it.